Fedora Productions.
Hello, everyone. My name's Colin Ridgway, and like you, I like Sonic the Hedgehog. And with that, I have certain Sonic the Hedgehog opinions that might be quite a bit spicy to some. Maybe it's like, obviously. But some people's hot takes are different than others when it comes to the Sonic series, drastically. And I kind of wanted to get over my, I feel like my most unpopular opinions. Some of them, pretty mild. Some of them will get my head stuck in a pike. So I think we should, start off right. And so start off with a soft one I have. And that opinion is that I think, out of the Genesis trilogy, Sonic 3 and Knuckles has my least favorite soundtrack. And don't get me wrong, I think the soundtrack for this games are great. I love them. But comparing to Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, I take these over these, whatever. It's just I find like some songs not be as I'm not as into as I was like all the songs like with these games right here, and so like even though I do love the soundtrack to like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I still abide by saying that I prefer the soundtracks to 1 and 2. And I know 1 is definitely going to be the one that gets the most controversy, that I think 1 does is better than 3 Knuckles, but that's just me. Although, if you ask me, 2 is my favorite out of the Genesis trilogy in terms of soundtrack. Another, the opinion that's probably going to get my head stuck on the pike, because I've been seeing a lot of talk about these games, and Sonic 06 and Sonic Unleashed. 2 games that I've been seeing a lot of romanticizing for, and I could talk about what I think of these games. But I'll just stick to what I have written down, and that's, I think Sonic 06 and Sonic Unleashed soundtracks are super overrated. And I know people say oh yeah, Sonic 06 is a terrible game, but at least the soundtracks look amazing. And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, Unleashed is one of the best soundtracks in the series, ooh. And to that I say, no, they do not. And I know, I'm not saying the soundtracks are bad. I'm not calling them the worst in the series. I'm not saying Sonic Chronicles has a way better soundtrack than Sonic Unleashed here. No, I'm more saying that I think they're super middle of the road. There are standout songs to me, obviously, the main vocal themes, Endless Possibilities and His World. I think they're absolutely amazing. Don't you dare argue about what's the best version of His World. I don't give a crap at all about what version you say is good. They're all good. But yeah, in terms of just the overall OSTs, I could not care for these. There are certain songs, there are certain songs. It's oh yeah, I like a couple songs from here, and a couple songs here and here. There's at least a couple songs I do hate from these games. So, and I don't even think I need to say it. It's whenever you counter a single enemy. So, yeah, and the Hub Worlds. Good God. But yeah. And if you want my opinions on the games themselves, this one's terrible. Probably the worst mainline Sonic game I've ever played. I haven't played Secret Rings or Shadow yet, so just let me be. And Unleashed, I think, is super mid. It would be a way better game if the Werehog wasn't in it. There you go. That's what I have to say about, I guess, the games themselves. And my next opinion, which is a very middle of the road opinion, because some people might agree, some people will super disagree. And that is my opinions about Sonic Heroes. And, I think, out of all the 3D Sonic games, I think this is absolutely one of the worst Sonic games I've ever freaking played. I like it a little bit more than Sonic 06. It isn't saying much, but I think, to go over positives, I think the soundtrack is good. I think it's pretty good, actually. And, I do like how the stages look. I like how colorful it is. It does like seem like they did try to make like a Genesis kind of Sonic game, especially in terms of like structure. Like you're going level to level instead of like, you know, like with Sonic Adventure 1, where like there's the hub world, and same thing with like, you know, 06 and Unleashed. And I do like how like it's basic like kind of story. Like I'm fine with that. Like it's a simple story, just so you don't need to make everything super big and, you know, all that. Like I think that's good. Everything I hate about the game, though, the characterization is not very good. The stage design is some of the worst I've ever seen. Like, my god, like, going through this entire game with, like, all 4 teams, like, the most enjoyable of the time I had was with Team Rose, because this, you know, the time it took to beat the stage was around a time, like the same time it would take to actually beat a Sonic stage, which is a comfortable amount of time. That's like 3 to 5 minutes. Like, that's good. Anything above that, my god. And that is definitely a bad case when it comes to the other teams, especially Team Dark and Team Chaotix, which, yes, it's cool they brought back Chaotix, but my god, like, Chaotix is probably the worst team in the game. And, like, the special stage is probably some of the worst special stages I've ever played. The music, it's fine. Like, actually, like, the control, like, even in the game itself, they're so slippery, especially in the special stages. And, like, it's such a pain to get all of them. Like, just Sonic Heroes just is a game I would never beat ever again. Like, if I'm ever, for whatever reason, gonna go back to Sonic Heroes, it's just playing the first two, like, Seaside Hill and, like, Grand Metropolis. Those are the only stages I'll go back to. Like, that's the only comfortable time, because, like, I feel like those levels are competently designed, even with, like, the other teams, but even the, like, after that, no. Just, you know, that's why I say Sonic Heroes is, you know, bad, and I think it is not much better than Sonic 06. So yeah, ratting about, you know, those Sonic games, how about I say something positive, which will still probably get people angry, but I have good reason to talk about it, and that being is that I think Sonic Adventure 1 is way better than Sonic Adventure 2, and to give to the you know, the doubt, I do think it has a much better story than Sonic Adventure 1. I think it also has a better presentation. The voice acting is slightly better. Like, not perfect by a long shot, but still, I think it's better than what SA1 had. And, like, I know that people talk about, like, the music, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like, and, like, I can accept Live and Learn being better than Open Your Heart. Like, I personally prefer Open Your Heart, but I can understand why people prefer Live and Learn, because it's, like, one of the songs that define Sonic, obviously. And in terms of, like, the character soundtracks, I do prefer Tails' Adventure 2 theme to his theme in Adventure 1. Even though it is Bridge Zone from 8-bit Sonic 1, that's still pretty rad, but still, I think it's a bit repetitive, and I'd take the Adventure 2 one over Adventure 1 when it comes to Tails' main theme. Everything else, yeah, I think Sonic Adventure 1 is a much better actual game in terms of gameplay. When playing Sonic stages, you have a much, like, you're in a 3D space, so there's a lot more to explore, and it feels fun to explore the stages. And, like, I think, like, Tails' gameplay is way better, like, because it's closer to Sonic's and not, you know, a mech garbage. And Knuckles is way better in Sonic Adventure 1, because, like, obviously you can get any of the emeralds at any time, like, that's awesome, but also the levels, with the exception of Skydeck, are all super concise and easy to navigate. The ones in Adventure 2, absolutely not. They're way too big for their own good, and absolutely terrible to explore. Like, the first 2 Knuckles stages, I'm fine with. Those are the only, like, treasure hunting levels from SA2 I'm actually fine with. All of Rouge's suck, the rest of the Knuckles ones suck. And to talk about the mech stages, they're pretty frustrating. Like, I don't think they're bad, but they're just super, like, middle of the road. And and I think Gamma was way better because I think Gamma controlled way better and also got through the stages way quicker. And I guess also, like I was talking about the music earlier, I think the soundtrack to Adventure 1 is infinitely better than Sonic Adventure 2. Like, yeah, Live and Learn and, you know, Tails theme, but like, and there are a bunch of stage themes that I love, mainly like with Sonic, you know, Escape from the City, Pyramid Cave, absolutely amazing. But Adventure 1, for my opinion, has it beat by a long shot. Like, all the stage music, the whole world music, all of them. I can't think of a single song from Adventure 1 that I can remember pretty much all of them, and I think all of them are really good. Meanwhile, I think of some of the ones in Adventure 2 is like some of them are just like, yeah, this is music. Okay, I guess it's fun. And like you know, obviously like there were great songs. Like this is an absolutely great soundtrack, but compared to Adventure 1, my God, it has a beat in variety, and I think it has a beat in terms of every other part of the soundtrack. I love everything about Sonic Adventure 1, and well, you know, Big sucks, but you know, and Adventure 2. Like, I do have to give it props for like cutting it down, but it did not do a good job of continuing off and like making it like the gameplay styles it takes from Adventure 1 better, and in fact I think it makes them worse. But I do still think Adventure 2 is a good game, but yeah, I still say Adventure 1 is my absolute preference. Now, here's an opinion that is really just a selected group is really going to get, and it's the weird group that's played both of these versions of the games. And my opinion being that I think Sonic 3D Blast soundtrack for the Sega Saturn is better than its Genesis soundtrack. And you usually see people say like that Sonic 3D Blast Saturn is obviously a better game, but the soundtrack for Genesis is way better. But if you ask me, I much prefer the soundtrack to like Sonic 3D Blast on Saturn. And I love most of the stage themes much more than I love them on Genesis. And the special stage music, need I say more? I think it I don't know about special stage in general, but 3D Blast Saturn has definitely the best half-pipe special stages, and also the best special stage music. Like, the special stage music absolutely goes to 3D Blast Saturn, 100% if you ask me. Best half-pipe if you ask me, but I'm not sure about best overall special stage. 3D Blast on Genesis still has amazing soundtrack, and I think a lot of the songs in this game are really good. And I know a lot of people say the soundtrack for 3D Blast is a bit more generic, and I can kind of see that, but overall I would say I prefer the 3D Blast soundtrack over the Genesis soundtrack. Although these are both really good soundtracks. Well, we talked about partially one Sonic game for Saturn. How about another one? And by another one, I'm talking Sonic R. And a lot of people say this game is terrible, one of the worst Sonic games out there. I love this game. It's really strange. The controls are bad, obviously, and I know people are feel very indifferent about the music. I love this game so much. Playing this game is super fun for me, and I love the music, and I love just playing the game because I do find the game to be super fun for me. Would I say it's the best Sonic race game out there? No. But I would say it's my personal favorite. I do really love this game a lot. This is such a fun game for me to go back to. And yes, you can 100% complete in an hour, and yeah, there's not too much replayability. But personally, this is such a fun game for me, and I absolutely love Sonic R. I know a lot of people hate it, but I personally love it. Now, here's a little opinion. This isn't about an entire soundtrack, but a certain song. And if you ask me about this game's soundtrack in general, I just say it's super middle of the road. I could not care for it, even though I know some people that think it's one of the best Sonic OSTs of all time. But I don't feel as I need to say no, I think it's super mid as Unleashed 06. But there is one song that people say is oh my god, that song sucks, I hate it. I actually really like it, and that theme is Fist Bump from Sonic Forces. I actually really like that song. I found it to be pretty good, and the OST as a whole I couldn't care for. There's a couple songs in here that's this is actually really good. Ghost Town is my favorite stage theme. And I do like Fist Bump a lot, actually. Like, I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite Sonic songs of all time, not even close, but like, you know, I think it gets a lot more hate than it really deserves. Like I don't think it deserves any hate at all. Like, yes, like, because it correlates, you know, with like, oh, the power of friendship. Like, yeah, that sucks, but like in terms of the story, but like in terms of the song, like, dude, the song's awesome. I think it's a good song. And you know, Sonic Forces as a game is like super middle of the road, kind of bad in a lot of places. Like, it ain't a good game. But Fist Bump, I do kind of like. And in terms of Sonic songs, I don't really care for. I don't have the game for it. Let me get that real quick. Alright, so I don't have the console version on me, but I have played it, and I can say that I think that Sonic Colors, I think the soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. It's amazing. The only song that I can really think of that I'm like, is Reach for the Stars. And I know a lot of people say Reach for the Stars is like one of their favorite Sonic songs ever. Like, yeah, I couldn't care for it. I really don't care about Reach for the Stars. Like, yeah, I'm saying that I prefer Fist Bump to like Reach for the Stars. I know, I deserve to die, but like I don't know. It hasn't done really anything for me. Like the rest of the soundtrack for Colors, amazing, but I don't think it's that great of a like, you know, main song. That's just my take for you know, the Sonic Colors OST. Like, great soundtrack, but I don't care for Reach for the Stars. And here's a little bit of a Sonic game you probably forgot even exists, because a lot of people forget this game even exists. But Sonic Spinball, a weird Sonic game that I find to be, you know, pretty middling. It's even worse on Master System and Game Gear. But Sonic Spinball is a weird game, and the soundtrack like is very Genesis-y. Like, it's probably the most Genesis-y Sonic soundtrack ever. If that makes any sense. The options music sucks, but I do like the rest of the songs. I think they're pretty good. But if you ask me what the better Sonic Pinball game is, without a doubt, I would 100% say Sonic Pinball Party for Game Boy Advance. Which, yeah, a Sonic game you probably forgot about or didn't even know exists. This is the combo cart with Sonic Advance 1. Because I saw it at a place in Oregon. I was like, oh, that's cool, and picked it up. And you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. Sonic Pinball Party is actually really good. Really, just because it's pinball. Like, it's not like a weird mix-up of like pinball and like a platformer. It is just pure pinball, and I think it's really good. Like, the Sonic part is like based off of Advance 1, which is kind of neat. And also it has Nights into Dreams theme in it. So yeah, obviously I think it's better because I love Nights into Dreams. Yeah, I think Pinball Party is just a really good game. Like, the story mode gets pretty difficult, which isn't that great. But regardless, I still think this is absolutely a fantastic pinball game. And I think if you like Game Boy pinball games, then I think this is a neat one to track down. It's pretty good. And if you want to say it's better than like, I don't know, I have a couple Game Boy pinball games, hold on. So yeah, in terms of Game Boy pinball games, I would say, this is a weird statement, that Pinball Party is better than both Pokemon Pinball and Kirby Pinball Land. I know, what a controversial take, saying one pinball game is better than two other pinball games. Ooh, so controversial. I'm putting these games away. Alright, now that's enough talk about pinball. Let's get back to the main games. And by that, I mean talking about Sonic Colors again. And what's my opinion on Sonic Colors now? What, do I think the game is terrible? No, actually. But if you ask me, the DS version is better than the console version. I think this is a way better game. And Colors, I think, is a good Sonic game. Like, I'd say, like, in terms of like my 3D Sonic rankings, I think top 3, Adventure 1, Generations, and Adventure 2, and then below that is Sonic Colors. I I think the DS version is a way better game than the console version, because like the 2D sections like in the console version I find to be a bit clunky to control and not really that fun, and there's a lot of them. But overall, I think it's a solid game. This game is pure 2D, and it's pure fun to go through. Like, yeah, there are a couple stages I didn't enjoy, but I enjoyed playing through this entire game. Like, I enjoyed going through all the missions. Like, all the missions I actually really enjoyed doing, and I loved playing throughout the entire game. It was super fun, and I loved replaying all the stages. Like, this is a super fun game, and I know it's technically, like, Rush 3, and I've only played a little bit of Rush 1, and I haven't played any of Rush Adventure, but I would, from when I played, I would say this is my favorite Rush game so far. I need to play the rest, but this is my personal favorite as of right now. Alright, now enough of that garbage. Instead, remember when I was talking about that one little game? Yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Yeah, so, and I don't have a physical copy of this game to show, but, Sonic Mania, you know, people have been calling it like, oh my god, the best like classic Sonic game, the best like Sonic game of all time. It's like amazing, and I do think it's a great Sonic game. I thought it was amazing when I played it. And I still think it is a great game, and I 100%ed it like so many times. It's such a fun game. But if you ask me, I think Sonic 3 Knuckles is still way better than Mania, and well, Mania Plus. I still say that it's not my favorite Sonic game, but I'd say it's objectively what I think is the best Sonic game of all time. It has a good mix of like the platforming from 1 and the like speedy platforming from like the speed gameplay of like 2, and like it has so many great levels to go through, and like Mania also has a lot of that, but I do feel like I have a lot more fun playing 3 Knuckles than I do with than Sonic Mania. That's just me. It's still, both are great games, but 3 Knuckles definitely takes the cake for a better game, if you ask me. Alright, and here's another thing I don't have the other thing to show for, but, and I have played a little bit of this, but, and I know some things about this, but, if you ask me, I think Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, for GameCube specifically, not PC version and onwards, but Adventure 2 Battle for GameCube is better than the Dreamcast version. The Dreamcast original Sonic Adventure 2, I think this is a better game. And people say, you know, because like when it comes to like Sonic ports, you know, like Colors Ultimate recently, you know, Genesis on the Game Boy Advance and Adventure DX mainly, is like, oh yeah, they make the game so much worse, oh my god, the original is so much better. And a lot of people do say that for Adventure 2, but if you ask me, I don't think the changes, like, yeah, the lighting is slightly worse, but also, like, the lighting is better for one of Eggman's arc stages. Like, I think the first arc stage in Adventure 2 is way, because they actually see better in Adventure 2 Battle. And, also, when it comes to, like, mainly the multiplayer is way better in Battle than it is with, the Dreamcast game, because like Dreamcast, you like get the bare basics for like, you know, like an adventure style, like, you know, multiplayer. Meanwhile, this game makes it so much better, to the point where I think this is the best multiplayer Sonic game of all time. Like this, if you have some friends over and want to play a Sonic game, this is the best game to do that with. And also, because a lot of people, you know, I know a lot of people that love the adventure games because of the Chow system. And Adventure 2 Battle has the most robust Chow system of all. This is absolutely the best, like, game for, like, you know, Chow. And, so, yeah, that's why I think Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is better than the original Dreamcast game. Although, you know, Dreamcast game is still good. And, you know, still some stuff better than, you know, than Battle. Like, that's still a thing. Let's move on. And, I guess I gotta bring these two back up, because I can talk about both, but, Sonic 3D Blast, once again, and this isn't talking about a particular version, I'm talking about Sonic 3D Blast, you know, as a whole game, because they're pretty much the same game, but besides, like, you know, music and special stages, you know, other differences, but, yeah, I think, like, as a game, 3D Blast is the better version, but I also think as a game for both, 3D Blast is fine. like people call it like bad, and I've even heard people call it worse than Sonic 06. No, I think 3D Blast is it's not like a great game, it's not like a good game, but it's a fine game, and hell, I'd even play it over Sonic Unleashed if you like gave me the option. I would play this game over it. And it's shorter, and it's a relaxing time for me to play these games. I think these games are kind of relaxing, and like I play Saturn version obviously, but you know, I do think that 3D Blast as a game is just fine. It's a fine game. It's not bad. It's not good. I think it's fine. For my next statement, this is more talking about voice acting, and I guess I have another unpopular opinion when it comes to voice acting that I didn't even think of. The adventure games. And I guess, well actually by extension, adventure games in Sonic Shuffle. If you ask me about, you know, like, Sonic and Tails Dreamcast VA, Ryan Drummond and Corey and Connor, I think those are their names. Bridges? I'm probably getting the last name wrong, but they are my favorite voice actors for Sonic and Tails. And Ryan Drummond, I hear a lot of people say I know a lot of people that say that's their favorite voice actor. I've heard a lot more people like Jason way more, and also Roger Craig Smith. Ryan for me all the way. And when it comes to Tails, like, you know, like a lot of people say that, you know, like obviously like Colin O'Shaughnessy and like the voice actresses before her, like, but like they're good. They're good Tails voice actors. But if you ask me, I do think like, you know, those brothers, like, they're my favorite pair of like voice actors for Tails. Like I like he's a young kid, and so, you know, I think the voice actors for Tails and, you know, the adventure games in the Dreamcast era are my personal favorite. I think they really work. I'm, you know, they did keep Ryan Drummond for Heroes, but the Tails' voice actor in Heroes is my least favorite Tails voice actor of all time. That kid sucks. I hated it. Ranting about Heroes once again, I know. But yeah, for Sonic and Tails, my favorite voice actors for them are the one from the Dreamcast era. That's what I have to say about that. And finally, my final thing that I have to say, I have to dig a little bit for these two, but so currently Sonic Prime is on the horizon. It's gonna be released next month, because it's recorded tonight. And you know, a lot of people are talking about, you know, the old collections, you know, like the DS collection, you know, Mega Collection and Jam and all of that. And if you ask me, I would say that, like, while I think Mega Collection is great, I think Jam is a little bit better. And yes, the obvious thing is that, oh yeah, Mega Collection has, you know, more games. Like with Mega Collection, you're pretty much getting pretty much every Sonic game on the Genesis, besides, you know, like the weird ones like, you know, like Sonic Eraser or like Wacky Worlds. And there was a compilation of 1, 2, and Mean Bean Machine at one point, Sonic Classics on Genesis. And, you know, it has like the most, it has more Sonic games, and it even has Flicky and Rice Star, which is way past cool. Flicky, you know, is a neat little arcade game, and Rice Star is one of my favorite Genesis games of all time. Like, I love Rice Star, and this does have like some cool extras and stuff like that. However, I don't think it compares to Jam, and like yes, it only has 1, 2, 3 Knuckles, of course. However, when it comes to like the games, they're way more customizable. Like you can have the spin dash in Sonic 1. You can select different modes like normal, easy, and like original mode, where like the developers are going back, because like this was only made like 6 years after Sonic 1, and like it was only made like a few years after the original Genesis game. So, you know, all the original devs are still working at Sega, so they went back to like those games and like made improvements in the level design for like normal and easy mode, which is awesome. And, you know, there's a bunch of other modes for the games, and also you can access like Blue Spheres, Knuckles in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 Knuckles instantly. You don't have to unlock them by playing them like 25 times, unlike this game. And you can look through both the English and Japanese manuals, which is awesome. And in terms of other extras, I don't think I even need to bring up Sonic World because everyone knows this game's extras are amazing. Because you explore like probably one of the best Sonic hubs out there. Like you explore Sonic World, and it's amazing for what the Sega Saturn can do with just Sonic World. And it is cool that that Sonic World in this game is like a prototype. Is using the prototype engine for Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast. That is absolutely cool to me. And it's fun to see like all the character bios. You can listen to the sound test. The commercials and like other like video stuff you can find is super cool for Jam. And also that history of Sonic thing in there is also really fun because like going through like it's showing all the games that have been released through that time and like other historical events that have to relate to Sonic, and it's just really cool. Like, well, this is really just like, because this game was made for, like Japanese kids who didn't know who Sonic was, because, in Japan, the Mega Drive didn't do so well. It even got beat up by the PC Engine, aka the TurboGrafx 16, not to mention the Super Famicom. When the Saturn came out and, like, it was packed in with, like, Virtua Fighter, everyone flocked to the Saturn. I mean, PS1 still beat it, but like the Saturn was doing even better than the N64. Think about that. In Japan, the Saturn was doing better than the Nintendo 64, which is crazy. And with that, the Nights and Dreams was one of the best games in the Saturn. And it had Sonic in there. It's like, hey, Sonic Team, and a lot of kids were just like, who the hell's Sonic? So they had to make Sonic Jam like, hey kids, this is what Sonic is. And this is a great introduction for like, if you haven't played the Sonic games before, this is a great introduction because like, again, easy and normal mode, it improves the level design for newcomers. Like, that's great. And also, as a spin-off to Sonic 1, I already mentioned that earlier, but still, it's really cool for this game. And it's just showing all this stuff about Sonic and all the things you can buy still. Like, it would have been cooler if it included other, like, more Sonic games, like especially CD. Absolutely. But for what it has, I think it is so cool. And if you ask me, I do prefer it over Sonic Mega Collection. And with that concludes this big video about my opinions on certain Sonic games. And I know I brought up some points that made people mad, some points that made people just okay, cool, because I'm more of a classic adventure, like classic and Dreamcast Sonic enthusiast. It really is like, besides Mania, everything after after Adventure 2 doesn't really excite me. I love Mania and I love Generations. And I do enjoy some Sonic stuff, obviously afterwards, and I am hyped for Sonic Origins and Sonic Frontiers. I do still appreciate Sonic now, and even though like I just showed you like a bunch of the Sonic games I have like on display just to the side of me, just showing like because how much I love Sonic the Hedgehog, and we all have our differing opinions. Like, I know that there are a bunch of opinions that I massively disagree with. Like, my personal favorite Sonic game of all time is Sonic CD, but I know a lot of people that hate Sonic CD and even will play a game like Sonic 4 over it. I know a lot of people that say, like, Sonic Unleashed is the best Sonic game of all time. I know a guy who prefers Sonic 06 over Sonic 3, saying 06 is one of the best Sonic games and 3 is one of the worst Sonic games. It's crazy what people can say, which, people have different opinions, obviously. And, it's a thing in every fandom, but you don't see, like, people, going, like, on Twitter wars and crap, like saying, like, oh my god, like, Mario 64 is better than Super Mario World, ooh, like, have a big war about it. Like, people could argue about, like, Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 Knuckles, like, for best Sonic game on Genesis, and, like, people would go wild about that crap. It's crazy with the, Sonic, like, I can be super defensive about Sonic, like, I'm not denying that, like, I can yell at people for why I think, you know, '06 and the heroes are why I hate them and everything. I've already been recording for nearly 40 minutes talking about like all that I have to say, and you know, I guess it really shows just like how much I love Sonic the Hedgehog, I guess. Yeah, I guess that'll conclude this video. I hope you liked it, or hopefully you don't send me death threats. I guess tell me some of your unpopular Sonic opinions, and yeah, I guess that'd be interesting. So yeah, Fuzzy Pickles.